Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to Crashy News, where we bring you the latest in Crash Bandicoot news and updates. But instead of news and updates for this video, we're gonna try something more casual for a change, like doing a top ranking. That'd be pretty fun, right? Crash Bandicoot has enjoyed worldwide success over the course of 2 decades, especially in his early years. But there's one part of the world where Crash has surprisingly gathered a very large following, and that is Japan. At the time, Western video game franchises rarely succeeded commercially in Japan due to the fact that they typically didn't fit the tastes and conventions of the culture. Crash, however, managed to thrive in the market thanks to changes made to make both Crash himself and the games he starred in more approachable, as well as very effective marketing. But the most interesting thing about the relationship between Crash and Japan is that it ended up establishing core aspects of the franchise that would stick around to this very day. And for this video, we're gonna rank them. But be forewarned, some of you might find our number 1 pick a little surprising, if you're not hugely aware with the history of the Crash franchise, of course. So, without further ado, here's the top ranking of stuff in Crash Bandicoot you can thank Japan for. Number 4, Penta Penguin. Chances are you remember those cute little penguins from Cortex Strikes Back that walk back and forth in the snow levels. Well, this enemy type soon evolved into a distinct character named Penta, who sports a purple scarf to differentiate himself from all the other penguins. And while he technically made his debut in the original Crash Team Racing, Penta is actually the first and so far only character to originate from spin-off media, exclusive to Japan no less. He first appeared in the manga series, and please forgive me if I mispronounce this, Dansu de Jump na Daiboken, which is, as of now, the only standalone comic book based on Crash Bandicoot. In the 5th chapter of Volume 2, Crash, Aku Aku, and Cortex go to the South Pole to retrieve a power crystal frozen in a mountain of ice. They just so happen to come across Penta, and being the goofball he is, Crash asks if he can take a photo with him. Oh yeah, Crash can talk in this manga, by the way. Penta accepts the offer for a whopping 500 yen, to the Bandicoot's complete and utter shock. Throughout the 2 chapters he appears in, Penta is shown to be short-tempered with greedy tendencies. He charges money for just about everything, and even shows extreme jealousy when his supposed girlfriend, Gurren, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, takes interest in Crash. Overall, he's depicted as a cute little penguin with a dark side. It's actually fairly accurate to his portrayal in Nitro Fueled, as he occasionally gives off shifty, sinister vibes when he's not being all kind and cutesy. Though that's more likely inspired by his apparent loyalty to the bad side in the original CTR, as he was protected by Aku Aku, despite his icon showing Uka Uka. Number 3, Fake Crash. A common trope with action platformers is having the lead hero come across his own evil doppelganger. Crash happens to have more than one, but the most famous out of them has to be Fake Crash. Not necessarily evil, but certainly goofier, with buck teeth and even thicker eyebrows. You may have heard the story that Naughty Dog got the idea for Fake Crash after discovering bootleg Crash merchandise from Japan. However, the facts and evidence we found tell a different story. It seems that Fake Crash was originally developed as part of the Japanese TV ad campaign for Crash Bandicoot 2. In this one commercial, aired before February 1998, some kids are looking for Crash, and instead they come across Fake Crash, doing a pretty lousy attempt at the signature Crash dance. According to Crash co-creator Andy Gavin, the team at Naughty Dog saw the commercial and thought Fake Crash was so funny that they decided to put him in as an Easter egg in Crash Bandicoot 3, dancing in levels such as Toad Village and Makin' Waves, to the pleasure of Japanese fans. Since then, Fake Crash continued to be featured not only in promotional material for Japan, but also as a playable character in various Crash spin-offs like Crash Team Racing, Crash Nitro Kart, and even the Japanese version of Crash Bash, here called Crash Bandicoot Carnival. He's even been featured in roles relevant to the game's storylines, like Crash Bandicoot Entranced and the Thumpin' Wumpa Islands expansion for Skylanders Imaginators, where he gets his own boss fights too. Though the joke surrounding fake Crash was that he was based on ugly Crash toys, Andy Gavin again revealed that these were made by Universal as a supposed official line of merch. And when presented with those for the first time, he laughed for half an hour straight, rolling on the floor. The Universal marketing people were not amused. Number 2. The Crash Dance. I don't think we can get away with making this list without bringing up Crash's signature dance. It is as follows. Shake your hands on both sides, show off your groin, do 3 pelvic thrusts to the right, 3 to the left, then make a 180-degree turn, and spin back around with a surprise pose. Many might be quick to assume this dance first appeared in Cortex Strikes Back when Crash successfully collects a gem and returns it to the warp room. But once again, it actually originated from an old Japanese commercial, this time for the first Crash game. It even had its own song, which became popular in and of itself.
Crash Bandicoot! Crash Bandicoot! Crash Bandicoot! Crash!
The creation of the dance is said to be attributed to Megumi Hosoya, the then product and marketing manager at Sony of Japan. Fun fact, she's the woman in the black dress dancing alongside Crash in the secret music video from the Japanese version of Crash 2. And yes, Megumi from Crash Team Racing is indeed named after her. Both the dance and the song have since been regularly utilized in promotional material in Japan, even spawning a successful exercise VHS tape. And note from the narrator, before recording this even I had no idea this existed. The dance has appeared in many Crash titles after Cortex Strikes Back, with some of the latest releases having their own variant which replaces the pelvic thrust with the Running Man move, which is physically impossible for any normal human being to do, by the way. Trust me, I've tried. Number 1. Coco Bandicoot. I'm not sure how many of you will be surprised by this, but it's true. Coco, Crash's high-spirited sister, was born thanks to Japan. To talk about what led to Coco's creation, we'll first have to look at a certain other female character from the first Crash game. Tana was created for the sake of a romantic dynamic similar to Roger and Jessica Rabbit, a small, goofy guy paired with a tall, sexy girlfriend. To drive this home, Tana was specifically designed to be voluptuous and wear skimpy clothes. The marketing director at Universal was certainly not pleased by the exaggerated sex appeal, and while she was able to get Naughty Dog to tone down Tana's look, executives at Sony Japan weren't all that fond of the character either. To appease these executives and maintain a good relationship with them, Naughty Dog ultimately decided to scrap her altogether. Luckily, Sony was willing to compromise in some way. Enter Takamitsu Aijima, who later became the lead character designer on Ape Escape, by the way. He came up with the first concept for a character that could serve as a potential sister figure to Crash. We can see what would stay the same with her final design, like the ponytail and flower in the hair, though here she's much taller, albeit less curvy than Tana, and is also wearing somewhat revealing tribal clothing. Veteran character designer Charles Zambilis would later step in and refine Aijima's concept, sketching up multiple variations until coming up with the final look we know today, with the blue overalls and the pink shoes. Coco would make her debut in Crash Bandicoot 2: Cortex Strikes Back, and ever since then, she's appeared in just about every game that followed on both consoles and handhelds, quickly becoming a fan favorite. And that's all we have for today. We hope you had fun watching this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, share it, and subscribe to this channel to keep up with future uploads, including news and updates. For more regular coverage, also check the Crashy News website and follow us on social media, links in the description below. This is Crashy News, leaving you with the quote of the day. At long last, the world will have a way to recycle butter!